park, the hotel, and the theme park itself. So last Thursday we arrived around about 7 o'clock time, going down the M1 and M25. That M25, oh dear, what a road. But anyway, Satnav took us on a bit of a guided tour of the local um, town that's near to Thorpe Park. Anyway, got in, and the staff on the reception, yeah, top quality, no messing about. We went in without our bags, and the lady, um, security guard, says, I'm going to need to check your bags before you come in. So that's all right. Our security is as much at the forefront of our where for us as much as it is obviously for the hotel and the theme park. So we don't want anybody running around with anything they shouldn't be running around with. So I have no issues whatsoever with that. So I went back to the car, got the um, bags, and she came back, checked them all through. I even had a box that didn't know what was in it because it was given to me by one of the local. Obviously, I'm a beer reviewer, as you can tell here behind me. Or you may not, but I am a beer reviewer. So yeah, check the bags, and we'd stopped there before. So anyway, there's no issues with the bags, obviously, and so went in. This time we was on the top floor. So you walk through a shark's head to get to the hotel. The hotel is the most different hotel you're ever going to come across in your life. It is basically, in basic form, it's containers sat on top of each other's with aircon units and a single doorway to each room with no windows. The only window is on the door itself, but you block that off for privacy. You walk into the hotel rooms, and we've been there before, so we knew what's coming. If you're looking for a luxurious hotel, you're going to be sadly, it's not for you. This is, I would describe it as budget, but just a doable hotel room. You walk in, there's a double bed, bunk beds in our room at least. Bunk beds. There's a coffee making area, and then there's a toilet cum shower room with a glazed door where people can't see through. Air conditioning, so the temperature's fine. There's a TV on the wall. There is the funny thing is with the TV that the channels, the Thorpe Park channels, did not work. So that's something that they need to look at in the future. Yeah. Obviously, I presume the software needs upgrading and that. So there's something, I mean, if you're going to have people there, you want what showcases your park to work, surely. Anyway, first night we was there, we'd obviously been travelling for neon 4 hours. So the bar had changed its name. So anyway, you walk out there, you walk back in. There's the dome. We were last there in 2018 when Sweden played England, and we won. England won. And the atmosphere that day, it was one of the most electrifying atmospheres you'd ever come across in a theme park. There was literally thousands of us crammed into the dome to watch England play Sweden. And obviously when we won, it was amazing. It truly was. It was one of the greatest moments I've ever encountered in a theme park. But anyway, went into the newly renamed Vibes. So it's an unlimited, the girl serving, long-haired girl, glasses, lovely girl, really explained everything perfectly. Same with the people on reception, to be fair. They explained everything perfectly, which is what you want. You want people who explain it in a way that you understand. You're new there. It's all right saying something and people are like, but no, they did well. And so anyway, we'll go further. On that night, there was a buffet meal, and it was £19.95 for an adult, all in, and £11.95 for children up to the age of 12. My son is just 11. Turns 12 next week, actually, or this week. Sorry. And still get away for an 11-year-old if we go next year. But and anyway, yeah. And there was a selection. There was half chicken. There was fish. I didn't really rate the fish, to be fair. There was a pie. There was chicken tikka masala. There was sausages, chicken dippers, chips, some vegetarian options, and then there was also some Black Forest gatos and other different cheesecakes and whatnot, and fruit. For a one-off, yeah, it's all right. However, we'll get into day 2 later. So we had it. We all filled our bellies. It was good. Went to the bar. The only beer, and I'm a beer reviewer, so the only beer on the bar, don't class Stella as a beer, it's a lager. The only beer on the bar was Camden's Pale Ale. To be fair, it was tasting nice, mighty fine. On the bar there was Stella, there's Corona, Magnus Dark Fruit. There was another one as well, but I forgot the name of it now. But anyway, yeah, my wife had the Magnus Dark Fruit. That was really good as well. Both crystal clear. Great service from the bar staff. My only thing, if I was talking to someone from Thorpe Park, if you was ever watching this video, whether you do or don't watch review videos, behind your bar, and this is a similar sort of thing. I understand hospitality. I work in hospitality. I work at a hotel that does wedding events, and their amount of beers and that is quite limited. What I would say to you, we're in a craft beer generation these days. And what I would say to you is to have a fridge behind the bar with a small selection of some of the craft beers from around. Don't just choose Brewdog, but craft beers from around the country, and certainly from the London area. If I'm coming to London, there are lots of breweries around London. Wildcard, for one, and many others. And to have a selection of beers behind the bar, from low ABVs up to, say, Imperials, and some don't need to be in a fridge, some do need to be in a fridge. And yeah, if I was talking directly to Thorpe Park, and one would hope that somebody from social media would watch this review, and because it's a positive review mostly. But yeah, in any case, beers were tasting good. We had a great night. Went to sleep. Gotta be honest, I really struggled to sleep on the beds. I'm used to a firm bed. The bed was soft. Is this an option where you can change the mattress? I know it's not always easy, and it's only for the most them sort of people who I want a firm mattress, but it's what we're used to, and it's an interesting thing. We didn't ask because we just accepted it as the thing is. But yeah, did a few beer reviews in the toilet. So if anybody from Thorpe Park watches this and wonders why the hell is a bloke doing a beer review in the toilet from the hotel, my hotel room toilet. Anyway, and outside there was an area outside with actually like this old caravan thing that actually looks like it in the height of summer sells beer and pizzas and to the people that are stopping, which I think is an amazing idea. When the hotel was rammed, I get to Thorpe Park. I don't want to go anywhere else. I want to stay in Thorpe Park. One, because I really hate the roads outside, and I really hate getting lost. So yeah, get the sat nav down there. Once I'm on site, job's a good one, and maybe a bit more of a bar in the evening. But anyway, first day was Friday. We're in the queue. Now, we were we were told by reception that this is the only quirk about reception. The park opens at 9. Okay, so we thought, right, we'll book an 8 o'clock breakfast, get ready for 9 o'clock. We stood there at 9 o'clock and like, why is no one else queuing? And went over to, all of a sudden, 20 past, 9:30, this bloke walks down, opens one of the gates. And I says, oh, are we allowed in now? Because, you know, it says 9 o'clock, we were told. No, mate, it's 10 o'clock. Says, but we were told 9. Says, it's definitely 10 o'clock. No one's allowed until 10. Oh, okay. So there's a little thing. Is it, are the staff being told something different? Is that a thing you do in the summer months where you open at 9? There's a thing, you know. So you stay on site, and to be honest, Thorpe Park, the cost of it is actually really good. The prices for London, to be fair, we are in London or London area. The prices are pretty good. I think we paid 300 quid for 3 of us for 2 nights and 2 days on the theme park. And you get, for the first hour, although it does say on this piece of paper, 2 hours up to 11 o'clock. If the park's not open till 10, then that's not really right. But in any case, an hour's worth of fast pass. Trust me, if you're there, get your backside out. Make sure you're in that queue. And what I will say is, on the Friday, we're in school trip season. And I've experienced this at multiple theme parks. And school kids are the worst for queue jumping. And it was my only bugbear on day one. Anyway, we got over to Swarm. Swarm wasn't running straight away. It was like, oh no. So we ran over to Stealth, got on Stealth 3 times, me and the wife and my son. My son's got autism. He absolutely loved Stealth. A bit like Rita at Alton Towers, but obviously with the height and a bit faster. Same cars though. And absolutely loved it. And he came off and his face was illuminated. And I knew that moment that he was going to have his best time here. And anyway, we went from there. And I remember that Saw always had a big queue. And Theme Park Worldwide always says that Saw does have a big queue. So we ran over to Saw and we did back to back on Saw. We actually stood we stood in the line for Colossus for 5 minutes. It was going nowhere. And even the fast pass was going nowhere. I think there was only running 1 train on the Friday, and hence big queues. So then we went over to Store, got two on Saw in the first day, and we were happy bunnies. We knew already that the park was rammed with school kids. Went on Storm Surge, about a 60-minute queue there. Went on Nemesis, Inferno. Here's the first annoyance that there was. 2 school kids, they are school kid age, you could tell they were school kids, walked straight through the line. And what I'd like to see theme parks doing is actually say to the members of the public, look, would you like a bonus to point out or actually block people from just going through the queue line? And it may be for some, it won't be for others. But if you give a carrot to the people that will do it, because there are a lot of people out there who don't mind saying, oi, no queue jumping, and then report them and say to them, if you do it again. But in some ways, Thorpe Park, if I'm talking directly, and I hope I am, this is something that needs to be said to school groups before they come, and teachers, and say to them, do not queue jump, do not save places in the line. Other people are paying full price for their day out. You're paying a reduced price. And, you know, we all queue. We don't mind queuing, but we don't like queue jumpers. That happened. And then what happened next? At the back of, so there's a kiosk on Nemesis Inferno. At the back of the kiosk, there's a bit where the fence, there's a barrier and there's the fence. The fence is, you can sneak round. These 4 lads sneak round. The couple in front of us, 2 girls, they actually said, excuse me, and barged them back. My wife had a bit of a go at them, and I was going to report them to the bloke, but my wife stopped me because we didn't want any hassle. We didn't want any aggro. You don't go to theme parks for aggro. I don't go to theme parks for aggro. And they got away with it. And it did. I was fuming for the next half hour. Good ride on Nemesis, but fuming. Anyway, yeah, the rest of the day after that, went on the rapids. If there's one thing I could say about the rapids, it desperately needs. It's a nice rapids. Could do with being a bit more watery, But I understand with what happened at Drayton Manor. Do understand. Obviously, under 18s only on the rides. That I approve of. That is a move. If there's not an over 18, you're not allowed on, because an over 18 will say, sit down. That I approve on. Although the three girls that stood with us in front of us, I would have said to them, come with us, and then just turn around to them and says, don't bloody stand up, because you're going to go bollocking. But, fair play. I understand the rule. But that ride, needs a bit of TLC. Bit of theming. It's a good ride. If you look at Popeye in Universal Orlando, that's themed and it works. And it's a good layout, but it needs that bit of theming. Keep the ride, get it themed up. Yeah, I'm sure you've got the pennies, Merlin, to do these things. But anyway, got to the end of the day. We had some good rides. Managed to get on Stealth again. Oh, it's amazing. Such a bloody amazing ride for the UK. Went over to Swarm. Got on twice in the last 30 minutes of operation. In fact, we got in 2 minutes to 6 and got on the ride. And then they closed the queue line, which I understand. So we had 2 great rides. And it made our day. This is where people need to realise, get there bang on early in the morning, stay till the last minute you can, get past the school kids' time. Once they start going home, the park gets a bit lighter, and then you'll get on more rides. And when people go for their dinners, don't go for your dinner at the same time as anybody else. Either go for an early dinner or go at 2:30. Don't go for dinners at the same time as everybody else. One, you're queuing for your blooming dinner anyway, so you're wasting good, valuable ride time. So we'll go to the evening. Went into the Vibes again. Same menu. Got to be honest. Once was okay. Same menu again. Yes, if it's a buffet, then I think the best thing to do is actually change some of the meat and menu that's on the buffet the next night. Swap it around a bit, chop and change. We didn't see any chocolate cheesecake for the whole session that we were there that night. Nor did I see any Black Forest Gatto on the Friday night. So we went on the Thursday. This was the Friday night. Yes, a bit disappointed. And I've got to be honest, the bloke who I presume is the chef, when you look at somebody, you can tell they don't want to be there, and there's a bit of attitude. And I looked, and I read people. I work on public parks for 20 years. You read people from a distance. Yeah, I don't need to be next to someone to read what they are, what they're giving off, the vibes. It's the bloody name of the bar. But the vibes they're giving off, that was hilarious. But I didn't even mean to do that. But the serving staff were great as usual. And the staff on the bar were great. I can't fault it. But yeah, what I would say, if I was being brutally honest, is one, your staff are being watched from afar. These, all of us, in any job we're in, we're being watched for our mannerisms, the way we are, and sometimes watched from a distance. And one must always take this into consideration. There's always somebody watching you. But yeah, I do feel that the menu needs a shake-up. You can't be having the same stuff every night. One, it's boring. Two, the second night seemed a lot less full than the first night. So are people eating out because they don't really rate it? Is it a cost-cutting exercise by Thorpe Park? I understand cost-cutting. We're in COVID times and the after effects of the COVID and the cost of living crisis. But you can do stuff for a price, but you can just swap it round like a rotating a 3-day rotation, so that the vast majority of people will never ever see the same stuff. So I had another night in the hotel room. I actually did 2 beer reviews outside in the courtyard area next to my hotel room. 244 was my hotel room. And I even did a live Wraggys tap room here. So I'm a beer reviewer, like I said. And although I had nosy people staring over, all of a sudden it's like knocking doors, all coming out just to see what you're doing. And I was being quiet as well, funnily enough. Well, relatively quiet. Anyway, next morning, went for breakfast. We got rid. This is a hint I'll give to people now. A tip: get rid of your bags well before the start of the day. Get rid of your bags before 8 o'clock. Don't go anywhere near 10 o'clock because you'll be joining the queues to get in the park. They won't let you in. Get rid of your bags early. Get back in, and then you've got rid. You're back in. You can enjoy your day. Some bloke, he took his bags to the car at 10 o'clock, couldn't get back in, he had to join the normal queue. And obviously, he wasn't overly pleased for that reason, because he missed about half an hour of his wristband. Second day, got on Swarm straight. Well, talk about the breakfast. The breakfast, lovely breakfast, absolute decent. Black pudding, bacon, Cumberland sausages, baked beans, fried tomato, scrambled egg, hash browns, mushrooms, good selection of different coffees from the coffee machine, juice, cereals, toast, different options of bread for the toast. Yeah, absolute top notch. You can't fault it. Buffet style. Go up and help yourself. Go up as many times as you want if you really like big breakfasts. First day I had a mega breakfast. Jesus Christ, I could hardly walk afterwards. Second day I was slightly more liberal. Slightly. Anyway, next day got on, and little bit of a... So we'd already learnt that to the right, looking at the theme park, go to the right, there's like an avenue with a gate. The people we were talking to stopped down there the day before because it's closest to Swarm. So we did the same, stop with them. The lad controlling the line, because they've got a little playground in, and then you've got a little path with the slide there. He stopped them there. We're behind gates. He did not open the blooming gates until after everybody started to go, which for me is a health and safety hazard. He should. We'd have all stopped back. We were all queuing patiently. There was no kids like the first day. He should have opened the gates and said, come forward, can you stop in this line please? That's all he needed to say. But he didn't. And I ended up walking round the barrier in the end and got my wife to walk round. There was a gap in between the gate post and the fence. We walked round. A lad and his wife, his to-be wife, he worked for Blackpool Pleasure Beach, so he knows about theme parks. And I said the same to him. This is a health and safety hazard. If there's a rush at the gates, people are pushing, somebody's going to get a gate rebounding on them. So just a slight annoyance there that he did not open the gates. The day before, whoever was on opened the gates. So, obviously, staff training, that's that. In the end, there was no issues. But we got to Swarm first, straight on, first train. Got around Swarm. By the time you come off Swarm, the queue, you've never seen people running for a flipping roller coaster like it in your life. All of a sudden, Swarm lives up to the name because there's a swarm of people running, 70-year-olds running. Get me to the front of the queue. Get me to the front. And luckily we had fast passes, so it was all good. Got into the front of the queue, got on the first train. I looked at the queue for this, and already the fast pass queue was already up. The first queue was already at the gates, so already in that 5 seconds there was a 60-minute queue. Unbelievable. Wow, what a coaster. Went round to Stealth 3 times on Stealth. Woof, my lad was buzzing. I was buzzing as well, to be fair. From there to Nemesis Inferno, and got on that straight on. The lad, there was an Asian lad doing the microphone. It must have been the ride up. He was so bloody funny. Make sure you give him. I mean, I won't want to listen to it all day long, but his chat. This is what, you're on a theme park, a bit of interaction with the people, and he was chatting and said, "Does this roller coaster go upside down?" And he was saying funny things like that, and he was so comical. So big thumbs up to that bloke. I hope this makes its way to him somehow. But yeah, he was a star. We went back on later, and he was still doing his thing. And yeah. You warm to that. I mean, like I said, I wouldn't want to listen to it all day, but it was funny nonetheless. From Nemesis Inferno, we went straight over to Saw. Got in the queue for Saw 22, and I thought, quick go on Saw, because obviously you fast pass. Got in the queue, and all of a sudden came over the tannoy. I do apologise. Closed the queue. Someone's been we need cleaners. So obviously someone had been sick in the queue on the ride. We weren't moving anywhere. We was at the station, in the station at that time, and they'd come all kitted up. Not the nicest job in the world, gotta be honest. All wiping it down and that, doing what they do. Not the nicest job. Cleaning other people's bodily fluids up, not good. But they did it, and did a good job. I had to call the engineers because it won't work, and it never did work. We got a fast pass, so we thought, well, let's go to Colossus. Colossus was actually running 2 trains, which is good, because the day before 1 train, and the queue was so slow. Really does need a 3 train on there. It's a good ride, but it needs 3 trains. The fact we was given a fast pass, we went on luckily the girl didn't scan it, so that was all good. She just waved us on, and it's like, yes, get in. And we actually used that fast pass later in the day to go on Swarm again, but this time we scanned it, so we don't use it again. I'm not sure if you can use them again. I don't know these things. But we had went on Nemesis Inferno again, like I said. Went on Stealth again, and we had a great day. And took my son on Darren Brown on Friday. Oh dear. Greenhouse door down. Yeah, took my son on Darren Brown on Friday. He didn't really like that at all. And he put his hat off, and they kept pushing it on, but he was scared stiff. We took him on. We didn't know how he'd react. And we told him to take it, lift it up, close his eyes, get with the amp, and sometimes it makes you wonder where, if there is an issue, he says, look, I can't watch it. And they say, okay, stay as you are. And then that should have been okay. So there's a line there, whether they have to do it for health and safety. I get that. I get both sides of the equation. Went on Walking Dead, the ride. Gotta be honest, the queue line was awful on that. Yeah. Didn't rate the queue line as it used to be. In some ways, on that ride, I'd get rid of that first room with that pre-show, because what happened was, we were in the pre-show, and this gang of youths just barged in front of everybody, straight through after watching it. And it's like, hold on a minute, we'd all queued. And I'm not a massive fan of the pre-shows because of that reason, where you get a gang that just barge everybody out of the way because they want to go first. So my review of Thorpe Park, overall fantastic 2 days on the park. You've heard what I've said about certain things. My hints: stay at the park, fast pass, get there, 20 to 10, get in the queue, get to the big attractions first, do them. Stealth is the best because stealth's fast track. It basically you round and straight back on. And Saw is not so fast. Nemesis, you have to join the queue. So yeah, Swarm, you have to you go in, you beat a lot of it, but you still join in the queue. Stealth and is by far the best of all them for fast passes. But we had a fantastic 2 days. You know, absolutely loved the place. I do think it's the best theme park in Britain. It's more compact. I did see off Colossus the old log flume at the back. It's crying out for a water coaster at that part. You're surrounded by water. What would I do to improve it? I would certainly have, even if the fake cameras in the queue lines, have cameras in the queue lines, but certainly tell schools that queue jumping is not allowed. And if anybody's caught queue jumping, they're sent straight to the reception area and not allowed on any more rides, or certainly not allowed on roller coasters. That sends a message. You know, you need a deterrent to stop it. Because some of these kids, and sadly, it was all kids, won't go any further because I'll hold that one to myself. But it was all teenagers, and I've had the same thing at Drayton Manor. Same people, same, yeah, not going any further. But yeah, fantastic. Overall, apart from the queue jumping, fantastic day out. 2 days there. Like I said, there's tweaks that can be done to that bar. You need more craft beer for starters in your Vibes bar, to get people to stay the whole night in there, because we'd have stopped at 11 had there been some beers that you'd actually want to drink. It's a cracking area, the Dome, but to me it's underutilised. You need like we're in another generation now. We've moved on from just certain amount of beers. A craft beer bar there would sell, trust me. Get yourself a fridge, get some craft beers. You don't need a mega fridge, something like that. Get some of the big breweries from around the country, not Brewdog, and get their beers in. Yes, they can be pricey. People pay for pricey beers, trust me. People will pay for pricey beers. It's the fact that they don't want to pay for the stuff that's on the bar half the time, or forced into paying for that stuff when it's you look and you think. But on the whole, fantastic park, great staff, and I really enjoyed it. Definitely want to go again. My son with autism, he enjoyed it. Bar Darren Brown's Ghost Train, didn't enjoy that. Would never go on that again. And to be honest, I don't think I ever would again as well. Yeah, we had some stupid girl on the first screen, some stupid girl, and again from the same. Not going to go any further. And on the phone, and it's like you're on the phone. They're on there, and she was told to turn off the phone 3 times, and she ignored it. Whether she got kicked off after that, I don't know, because we got to the front and we escaped. But that's so chuffing ignorant, and you need. I mean, there needs to be a thing that says no. That's it. You're not doing it. But that's my review of Thorpe Park, and a bit more besides. It was a thorough review, and hopefully a review that can be took further, you know. And we had a great time, and yeah, we'd love to go back. And that's it. Thank you for watching. And if you've noticed, this channel, it's primarily a review channel for beer reviews, to be fair. But I also do gardening, and I also do theme parks, because they are my 2 hobbies, as well as doing beers. So yeah, please join and keep watching, because there will be many more videos from theme parks coming up. Cheers all.